today's special day of Guru Purnima, and Dr. Kumar will enlighten us with his wisdom as well as words regarding today's importance of Guru Purnima. I welcome Dr. T.P. Kumar.
ബാക്കി എല്ലാരും മ്യൂട്ടിലോട്ടാക്കും കേട്ടോ.
എല്ലാവരും മ്യൂട്ടിലാക്കണം ആൻഡ് ലിസൺ ടു.
നമസ്കാരം.
നമസ്കാരം.
ഗുരുർബ്രഹ്മ ഗുരുർവിഷ്ണു ഗുരുർദേവോ മഹേശ്വര ഗുരു സാക്ഷാത് പരം ബ്രഹ്മ തസ്മൈ ശ്രീ ഗുരവേ നമഃ. അജ്ഞാനതിമിരന്തസ്യ നനഞ്ജനശലാകയ ചക്ഷൂരുന്മീലിതം യേന തസ്മൈ ശ്രീ ഗുരവേ നമഃ. സദാശിവസമാരംഭ ശങ്കരാചാര്യമധ്യമ അസ്മാത് ആചാര്യപര്യന്തം വന്ദേ ഗുരുപരമ്പര. Namaskaram to all of you. It's nice to see people on Balagokulam, now on Maya Balagokulam, and it is heartening to know that every week lot of activities are happening, and once in a while I am given a chance to talk to you. Though the time given is 30 minutes, probably I will only speak 10 minutes because it's already delayed. Reason number 1. Reason number 2, I like to have interaction more than lectures, because from the items which the balas from the Balagokulam presented, it shows you know most of the things by heart. So I love to look at those what you have presented in terms of its philosophical inner deep meaning and understand it carefully, what and how it reflects. Because anything if you don't understand and you are not going to reflect upon that, I feel is of not of much use. I don't say it is of no use, but it's of not much use. So it needs to be understood carefully. Similarly, it is the same case with celebrations like Guru Purnima. I know most of the people know it is Guru Purnima. I know most of the people knows that the day is July and the date happens to be 5th this year. But why and how and what is to be done? How to celebrate that? Why the day is chosen? People know maybe up to the maximum extent that it is full moon day in the month of Ashada. Why this Ashada full moon? But there are many more full moons, not just one. But why only this full moon is celebrated? These are the things probably you should ask. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of India gave a speech on July 4th. And then he was talking about Dharma Chakra Day. I don't know how many of you really know Dharma Chakra Day means what. Is it reiterating the Dharma, so-called the Sanatana Dharma? When was the first reiteration happened? Who was the person behind it? I have lot of questions. Unless these questions come to you and you have someone where you can approach and understand. Today it is not required because all of you have Google. Probably Google has become the guru. Sometimes people used to do puja to Sai Baba. When you go to Maharashtra region, I was last year in Columbus, America this time. I found all of them are doing puja on Sridi Sai Baba, because as far as they are concerned, it is Sridi Sai Baba is the guru. I asked one of them, what is that Sridi Sai Baba taught you as a guru? Most of them have no answer. So it is all blind, not in the children. It is how the parents, it is how the elders, It is how the so-called ritualistic people. That is why, though information is available, we don't know what to look for and where to look for. These are all what is to be understood carefully. These are all what is to be learned with full interest. Guru Purnima day, which is spiritually a special day, astronomically a very special day. The knowledge is flowing, overflowing. But where you can pin upon to understand everything, with whom you can approach for understanding the deeper and inner meaning, not the lexicographic dictionary meaning. Who has got that understanding from the Guru Parampara? We have just now chanted Sadashiva Samarambha, starting from Sadashiva, Arambham from that place, Shankaracharya Madhyama, considering Shankaracharya as the Madhyam. So you can have Guru only when you understand Sadashiva, you understand Shankara, at least something from what he is taught us. Then all the Parampara, the disciples to disciple, reaching up to your nearest Guru, who is that. Ask a question, do you have such a Guru? It is not teachers. It is not who can teach you maths, physics, chemistry. The spiritual heart, the metha, the intellect, the pratna, the awareness, the dhriti, the will and alertness which you have, the smriti, the memory, who can create that as an opening to you, is what the Gayatri mantra. Who can give you that Gayatri mantra and who can make you to make that as your regular practice, as a mantra. Mananat trayate iti mantraha. You by heart it and keep repeating it so that it becomes in your mananam. And that mananam becomes Gayatri, because Gayatri opens up to the enlightenment. Who can give you that? Who can give you that buddhi? Buddhi. That is how it is. Buddhi is wisdom. Buddha got buddhi. So Buddha Purnima is actually a Buddha's day. Probably there is only one Guru who named himself as Buddha. That is why probably yesterday Prime Minister spoke most of his time on Buddha. Understand why and what is that extra, what is given by holding, possessing, giving, bestowing, granting, causing your path to reach into that state where you can understand. That realization happens to you, by which Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amridam Gamaya, and then you reach into that peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It is actually shame for India, who have been continuously chanting this. And if you look at the wellness index, peace index, happiness index in the whole United Nations listed, and there is a scientific study, we keep chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. But how many of you have this Shanti? How many of you have this happiness? How many of you have this cheer in your manas? How many of you are really happy in the happiness index? Pakistan is much better. America is much better. Probably Afghanistan is behind us. 140 is the status for India. That is because you cannot be having Shanti, Shanti, Shanti when your neighborhood is in Ashanti. So it is most essential to take care of your people around you. Give social service. That was part of our nature. But this is done as a ritual, not a nature. We left this nature and become only ritualistic. Once in a while. Think about your gurus once in a while. I don't think a day in my life, for the last many years, I left a single day without remembering my Guru. KPC Anujan Bhattacharya, who taught me the real essence of Veda. Here and there little bit I could pick up, though he must have given. I was not matured enough to capture that much. But I was gifted with that. The position he gave me as a disciple. And I consider him, I took him, I followed him as a Guru. He is not a small man. It's rare to get good gurus in your life. He was Maharishi Mahayogi's Guru. My Guru KPC was Maharishi Mahayogi's Guru on at least for some portion of Maharishi's Mahayogi's learning for a year. He went to America and taught. So today is the day when I have to remember my Gurus. And even today, every day I get lessons of Vishnu Sahasranamam from my Guru's closest associate, friend of him. Therefore, through him I have to remember him. I spend a lot of time listening to that, editing it and posting it to my YouTube. So that is that Guru Parampara which I remember every day. My meditation master Samadhi, Mahamandeleshwar Swami Vedabharati. He is Swami Rama's disciple. I am the third disciple, Swami Rama, Mahamandeleshwar Swami Vedabharati. His disciple is from the Himalayan tradition. He was the 28th Kanchi Kamakodi. Becoming Kanchi Kamakodi is the supermost position of Hinduism. And my Guru's Guru was Kanchi Kamakodi. And that Parampara. So when I say Shankaracharya, Parampara and Paryandam at the end, when I chant, it is not chanting the verbal jugglery. It is not the dictionary meaning. It is conceptually visualizing my Guru KPC, Anujan Bhattacharya and Mahamandeleshwar Swami Vedabharati. So when I am chanting this mantra, it is just not spelting, voicing out, chanting something. It is opening up the inner heart and doing pranayama to my Gurus. I don't know how many of people have this blessing. This blessing is what is essentially required for anybody to get into that parampara. So I am blessed and I feel that any knowledge which you get from such Guru Parampara is a big burden because you have to give it to somebody else. Without giving it, you are one day getting into fire in the Smeshan. Actually, you are disobeying or disregarding what the Guru has given to you. Today is selected specially as a day because it is the full moon bright day after the midsummer solstice on 21st June and 22nd December. 2 times it comes. And after summer it is so auspicious. It is the full moon. And we have got another dark full moon which comes in December, which is very, very famous. So these speciality in astronomically very, very essential to understand the Guru Parampara. The joining of the together is Guru Paurnima. And moon always is Manakaragan, reflects the Manas. So it's a time for reflecting your Manas. With the full brightness from the sun, the Guru. Sun is always the Guru. Nishabdam, but without any discrimination. That when you understand, you must also look at who are all probably not direct Guru. You must have heard from Vyasa, you must have heard from Krishna, from Vatmiki, Vasishta, Shankaracharya, Ramana Maharshi, Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna got a blessing in a different style. Swami Vivekananda, for me Nitya Chaitanyayati, Sri Narayana Guru, Chattam Biswami, Osho had a different view on this. So you have to put these agglomerations together. Chidanandapuri Swami, maybe in the present day, Chidanandapuri Swami, Narayana Tapovana Swami, not those people who add prefix calling themselves as the great Guru. They are all famous because they know how to market. But you ask them who taught them, where is the deep rooted Sanskrit sloka from which they are speaking, they will not tell you. They are very famous. Understand what is good and what is bad. Understand the essence. And guru is not like your father, mother, friend. Friend is one who will every time support you even if you are doing mistake. And many people love their friends, but that they will not correct you. Parents, they are emotionally attached to you. Therefore, they may not harm you. They may not become very strict. They may admit whatever you say. But guru is one who is like I remember the guru as per some I think it is Nanak who said the Gurur Kumar Sankh Kabhe Ghat Ghat Kade Khot Andar Hath Bahar Se Chot Chot Marna hai. So it is like a potter, a mud which is smashed and put and then put it in the chakki and you put your hand inside and from outside you have to hit. That means you have to go inside the disciple and from outside keep beating so that it gets into the nice shape. So that shaping is what a guru does. So guru is a potter. Guru is not a friend. Guru is not like parent. Guru is with you when you have a tough time and who guides you through, no, though physically not present beside you. So understand that Guru Parampara is what Bharatiya Shastram taught us to get us into the path of light. They are all torch bearers. Pranams to my gurus. Nice. Whatever I learned, a little bit reflections here and there, I am able to share with some people at least at some point of time. Every day, even today, I have got a satsang in the evening. I have got my own group of people who follow and then listen. There are sharing happening all throughout. I was blessed to be part of Indian Council of Philosophical Research to talk on yoga the other day. So understanding things and then sharing is my day of life. I don't think in a single day from the COVID March 25th to till day, there is no single day where I left without posting a lecture or a video on my YouTube. So I am blessed today to be with few young people who were all so young when I started my interaction with them 10 years back. Today all of them have gone to teen. I am sure from teen to 20 and then adolescent, then into Garhasthyam. These lessons which you are learning will take you through a peaceful life. But don't enjoy your peace without making your neighborhood also peaceful. I will stop here. If there are some questions, probably I will like to address. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Menon, for the introduction and coordinating this. Thank you, Hari, for remembering and inviting some time. Glad. Thank you. Thanks a lot for having the patience, listening, and namaskaram and pranams to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shakti. I thought guys, some of the points which you have taken, I have also been following you during this COVID season. And I would also like to be following you in the days to come also. I am sure, as you rightly said in the first, you are also interested to having some interaction with the kids. So since anyway we have 30 minutes time and we have taken less time, I feel that we will open the floor open for the kids or anybody can ask some question. But please see, when you ask a question, only that person only should be unmute. All other listen ask a question, otherwise it becomes a big problem. Correct? I hope yes. To that. I mean,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can have 10 minutes interactive session.
yes. So whoever want to ask the question, raise your hands, unmute, and then pass it to Dr. Shashkumar sir. Now the floor is open, and like this you can. Initially, anyway, there is starting trouble, so let somebody start. Bijuji.
Namaste, namaskaram. I just recovered from a mild infection and it lasts for more than 30-35 days. 2 days back only I have just, able to stand up. That kind of microbial infection happened. Otherwise, I am all right now. And I have a request to Dr. Shashikumar sir that you have to continue the service for a long period through this platform. Because this is, I think nowadays it is more useful and more people can join. And from anywhere they can join. The location is not a constraint for anyone to join this kind of meeting. So I wish and he could continue this kind of service throughout India and throughout the world. Thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you, Vibhuji. I know.
I think that is what I mentioned. I am there every day. But what probably is lacking is there are no questions. When you don't have questions, you start pouring. It is like a tumbler which is kept reverse and you keep pouring. And when somebody is looking at the video, if there is a single letter word which says what you have learned from that, it shows that, yeah, you listened. There is some point in what we are speaking. That is how we learned from our gurus. Today it is easy to get gurus, but it is very difficult to get disciples. It is easy to get a lot of teachers because plenty of them. The number of videos which are coming on YouTube may be thousands and thousands. Your 500 Janma is not enough to finish, at least to go through that in a, I generally watch video in 2x speed. Even with that, there are no contents available in most of them. That is because same jugglery keep happening. So when we speak, what is done is, because we know this is how the junk gets into, we look for some points where people want to hear. That is what is essential. So this continues. This service continues. Today evening also I have 3 sessions. This is the first session, another one after 4 o'clock, then another 7 o'clock. So it keeps happening.
Namaste, sir. I just have a question. I asked several times, but see, I would like to know more about Dhyanam and Jnanam. So, see, many people are doing Dhyanam, but they don't know how to do Dhyanam and how to enlighten from this Dhyanam to Jnanam.
Dhyanam is more of a ritualistic faith which you have and you start praising them. Or maybe your concentration is on that. You are constantly looking at it. I am constantly looking at this pen. But I am not trying to learn what is it. So probably sometime for a blind person, somebody says this is a pen. Therefore, I believe it is a pen and keep my concentration onto that. Dhyanam is only concentration. But then, how do I know this is a pen? Only when I test this. When I start writing, when I start using it. So, knowledge comes only when you experiment with that. You use it for your purpose. So, your skill is applied. Your dhi is applied. When your dhi is not applied, your heart is only applied, it becomes dhyana. So yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, don't look here and there, look fully. Pratyaharam is not there, don't see outside. Dhyanam. But that will take you to concentrate. But dhyanam, when you learn with dhyanam, that becomes Shraddha. Dhyanam also has a meaning which is called Shraddha. That is why Bhagavan said, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. So when you have a dhyanam, you are focusing with all the Shraddha without getting detached anywhere. That dhyanam, you apply your dhi, then that becomes knowledge. That is why we say dhi mahi. Let me use that and get brightened, enlightened. If you just do it with dhyanam, closing your eyes, then you are foolish. Dhyanam is not with closed eyes. Yati, who was one of my guru, though I have not seen him directly, his disciple Shaukat was my close friend. We stayed together. And he is Chattambi Swami's disciple. I must have read Yati constantly because it's a psychological approach to something. I remember Yati caught Shaukat and asked him, look through the grass. They were in Ooty. His ashram was in Ooty. The grass was there on the floor. So Yadi asked Shaukat to look at the grass. He was looking. No, there is a flower inside the grass. Still look at it. No, then he said, I am not able to see. No, look inside the grass. You will see flowers. And then there was a small flower inside which Guru was seeing and the disciple was not seeing. And he jokingly said, Yadi jokingly said to Shaukat, with your open eyes, you are not able to see something and you want to close your eyes and see God. What a stupid fellow you are. That is how he used to scold. So, learning is opening eyes. Somebody feels that Dhyanam is closing eyes. Dhyanam is not closing eyes. Closing eyes is opening your inner eye so that you get that in your manas. Indriyas only can help you to learn. Yeah. It's a beautiful question which can be explained hours together. Because the whole essence is that. That is why Bhagavad Gita has got Bhakti Sankhya. Sankhya is analysis. That is where Dhi is used. Buddhi is used. First Sankhya. Then Shraddha. Then you get knowledge. When you get knowledge, with all this, you understand the whole world is okay for you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That gets into sannyasa. Then you have no Ashanti. Violence is not there. You get into silence. So whole Bhagavad Gita is through all these steps. Beautiful question, Hari.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
The topic which you have mentioned. Is there any planetary positions importance and related to the Guru Purnima because of the moon phase and the Guru Purnima is somehow related, or any other planetary positions are related to?
I think you missed when I mentioned that, because after the summer solid, this is the 21st June was the maximum day which happens in the planetary system. For the earth, the sunlight maximum day is June 21st and December 22nd. So the summer solstice is over, then the next full moon is this day. Because of that, there can be an eclipse. Though Hyderabad is not visible, the eclipse is not visible from Hyderabad. North America it is visible. Somewhere else it will be an eclipse today. Therefore, we have got a gravity which is of earth gravity. We have got sun which gives you the whole electromagnetic energy. Electromagnetic. So it has got both. And you have got moon which has got, though gravity very less, but the reflections of the light comes maximum today. Because sunlight is maximum, the reflection becomes maximum. That too when the moon is fully exposed to you. The maximum reflection. So today is a electromagnetic energy potential, a change in potential becomes more. So we are in the brim today. So if you don't take care, it can be a fall, it can be good. So this is the day when you have to see Upanishad, sit beside your Guru and understand all the things. So it may help you to become good, it may make you to become bad also. The next day becomes Shivaratri. The full darkest moon is on Shivaratri. So Shivaratri and Guru Purnima may be just reverse side. This is the day when Guru Gita was taught by Shiva. So it has got 100 reasons. Probably we are assessing or maybe attaching to Vyasa because Vyasa is the Guru. Nobody knows when, where Vyasa took birth. Whether Vyasa is one Vyasa or plenty of Vyasas. Whether Vyasa is Krishna himself. We don't know. But he is one who understood all the Vedas, Upanishads, put it into Bhagavad Gita and then given to us. Therefore, as far as we are concerned, as far as Shankara is concerned, Shankara's guru is Vyasa. So therefore we attach to him. That's it. So astronomical reasons are more than the spiritual faith reasons. Good question, Saju.
Thank you, sir.
Biju, right? Biju, yeah. Somebody else.
Is there a difference between teacher and guru?
Pardon?
Is there a difference between teacher and guru?
Teacher is a profession. Guru is one who takes you from gu to ru. That means move you from the darkness. Guru is only one who knows things and tell you. Guru is not a great thing actually. Acharya is much greater than Guru. So Acharya has the highest position. Acharya will not speak, Guru speaks. Acharya is you look at him and then start following him. Acharanam is what is practiced. So he may not have disciples and he will not give lectures. So the highest position is Acharya. And in Bharatiya Shastram we have got a different cadre like captain, major, etc. The higher positions. The Guru itself has got different varieties. And you see Swamiji is the name different. Ramakrishna was Paramahamsa. Hamsa is which floats. So Paramahamsa is the extreme floating man. Weightless. And Hamsa can tilt 360 degree. So that means he knows 360 degree management. He knows all around what is happening. He is not blind. Like though his eyes are closed, he can see what is behind. That is why he could produce one Vivekananda. Therefore, who produces gurus and swamis and acharyas is a Mahaguru. They are pariprajakas. They don't attach anything. They keep traveling from one place to another place. They don't get stuck by somewhere. So you look at different gurus. There is a beautiful lecture given by me last year on, see the beauty of American set of people. They have a lot of questions. Every day I had satsang. Beautiful questions were there. One day the question was explain Gayatri Mantra. So in that Rajarshi, Maharshi, all such concepts are clearly explained step by step. Because when you speak about Gayatri, you will have to speak about who made Gayatri and why he is considered as the best. Who wrote Gayatri? Who is the inventor of Gayatri? Gayatri Mantra? Yeah. Which context, where, why, when, how, all this is explained. 1 hour lecture is there on Gayatri Mantra invention and the benefit of Gayatri Mantra. Yeah. Good question. So it is not normal teachers who are paid for that. Most of the teachers today are cheaters. Because they don't teach, they cheat. In the name of teaching, they cheat. They are not doing anything. The other day I gave a lecture on teachers. You can look at my video. There is a small caption. We had a global initiative for recreating what that education has to be after this time. So we had a conference in which philosophical people were there. There is a 10 minutes lecture on education and the role of teachers. You can see the small piece there.
Okay, thank you. I think because of the time limitation, and I am sure Dr. T.P. Shashikumar is available to us online, email, YouTube, and all other medias. So I am sure we all should get benefit out of interaction with Dr. Shashikumar. Let us also enlighten ourselves.
A summer program which was initiated day before yesterday, I had sent a message asking children to send video.
Yes, we have already circulated.
I got maybe hundreds of response, many from Gulf, many from different parts of India, starting from Hindupur, Assam, Gujarat, and Hyderabad, 2 people. But none from this group.
we will calculate that and we will be there. Anyway, it is nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Very nice. And then now we will be with you on that and talk to all the people and choose that. Thank you very much. It is our pleasure to have
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Now we are going to the next step because today we is the Guru Purnima.